the Bayaja Barracks and the Spanish troops. For the first 11 months the building was used to house infantry troops, April 1863 to March 1864. In 1864, Major General Rafael Clavijo expressed his admiration for the barracks. There have been many works after the Fortaleza that have been under the care of this commander, but outstanding among these is the building for the new barracks that has been constructed in Bayaja, which is generally admired, and foreigners that have visited it have praised it and asked me whether they could see the construction drawings to publish them in scientific publications in their countries. As a result of the War of Restoration in the Dominican Republic from 1863 to 1865, in March of 1864 it became necessary to use the military buildings in the madhouse as hospitals because of the large number of patients that were arriving from that country. During that month the garrison was removed from the Bayaja Barracks and it was used as a hospital until 1865. On March 3, 1865, the Spanish crown revoked the annexation of the Dominican Republic. In response to this situation, on June 28, 1865, Engineer Manuel Walls y Bertrand de Lis completed a proposal for the restoration and cleaning of the building for the purpose of once again using it as a barracks. This project, at a cost of 10,400 pesos, in addition to fixing and cleaning, included the redistribution of the space to house 2 battalions, 2,000 spaces. On November 25, 1867, San Juan was shaken by an earthquake that damaged several structures, followed by several tremors that lasted until March of 1868. This seismic activity caused several cracks in the walls of the barracks, leaving it in a ruinous state, especially on the northeast corner. The troops had to be evacuated from the building. Because of the lack of resources in the island treasury, it was not until 1871 that work was begun to reinforce the walls and repair the cracks in them. The work was directed by the Lieutenant Colonel of the Spanish Corps of Engineers Teofilo Lorente at a cost of 39,000 pesos. In 1878, Manuel Ubeda y Delgado, in his Isla de Puerto Rico, Estudio Histórico, Geográfico y Estadístico de la misma, describes the Bayaja Infantry Barracks as follows: ellipsis, one of the largest buildings in the city. It is of a rectangular shape measuring 7,716 square meters, with 3 floors, reaching a height of 17 meters, 65 centimeters. The central courtyard measures 2,422 square meters. The construction is perfectly regular and the layout allows for housing 2 battalions. At present the lower floor is being used for storage, sleeping quarters for one of the battalions of the garrison, a flag room, the infantry academy, a guardhouse, dungeons, and a washing area. The main floor is used for officers' quarters, offices, and sleeping quarters for the troops, as is the 3rd floor. The facades are simple with coins. The main facade is towards the west, on the way to El Morro, and there is a side entrance facing the poorhouse that opens out into the courtyard and the officers' quarters. The barracks was built in about 1860, and a considerable sum was spent in the construction. Because of the severe deterioration, it was necessary to prepare a project that would address the lowest level of the building. In October of 1896, Lieutenant Colonel Rafael de Aguirre completed a proposal to reinforce the foundations with a budget of 38,600 pesos. Work was begun in July 1897 under the direction of Commander Rafael Ravena. Some 200 cracks were identified in the building. Work on the reinforcement of the northeast corner of the barracks, where the deterioration was most dangerous, had almost been completed when it was interrupted by the declaration of war between the United States of America and Spain. On May 12, 1898, and as a result of the Spanish-American War, the Bayaja Barracks suffered heavy damage when a United States naval squadron bombarded San Juan. Because of its prominent position on the El Morro grounds, the barracks was impacted, leaving a hole of about 40 feet on the north side. Several of the residences to the east of the barracks were also affected by the bombing.